Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for your second Chelsea FC news video of the day. There were stories and I wanted to talk about them. We're going to talk about N'Golo Kante. We're going to talk about the role of Timo Werner as well as a couple of player exit updates. We've also got Mr. Dogman. Mason. Hey, he's going to come for a little stroll with me. But anyway, the light is going. The first thing that I want to talk to you guys about in this news video is subscribe to the George Benson Football Channel. I make so many videos now that I feel a bit cringe when I keep asking you guys to subscribe, but I've got to do it. It's part of the job. First story is regarding Emerson Palmieri. Emerson has come out and said that he is flattered, I guess you could say, by the interest of Napoli. There's been a few offers for Emerson on the table, and from what we can hear from Emerson himself, it seems as though in the next couple of weeks, he's got a decision to make as to which club he wants to leave Chelsea to go to. This pretty much tells us that Marcos Alonso will be staying at the club this season. After what Emerson did in the Champions League last season, when called upon, he was always a reliable left back. He always has been a reliable left back, but in terms of that quality, I think Chelsea are quite lucky because Emerson had a very, very good Euros for Italy. And the fact that he managed to play and start in the final means that the 25 million euro price tag that Chelsea have put on Emerson, we're actually quite likely to get something along those lines. There are a couple of clubs that are interested in bringing Emerson to either Italy, and I think it would be great for Chelsea because at the moment, a lot of the reports about whether Chelsea are going to invest in any more signings this summer or not are based on the money that we can bring in from player outgoings. And Emerson is one of those where he is third choice on that left-hand side in defensive areas. Chilwell's number one, Alonso's number two, or maybe that might be about to change with Marcos Alonso being one of the best players in that opening day of the season. It's great for competition, but Emerson will know that he is going to be number three. Minutes in the Premier League are going to be very hard to come by. He came off the bench in the game at the weekend, but that's because Ben Chilwell isn't ready to feature. But Emerson Palmieri to Napoli is something that we've heard quite a lot of. And I think the issue at the moment is whether Napoli are willing to put forward the fee that Chelsea are asking for. Speaking of fees that Chelsea are asking for, Tammy Abraham's fee, I got it wrong. It's 40 million euros plus an additional 5 million euros. 45 million euros, I think that equates to somewhere between 35 and 45 million pounds for Tammy Abraham. And when you think about it, the buyback clause is at 68 million pounds that Chelsea can then activate in 2 years' time if Tammy Abraham sets the Serie A on fire and then Chelsea want to buy their man back, by which point Romelu Lukaku is going to be 30 years old. So maybe if we think about the financial world of football, in 2 years, 68 million for a Tammy Abraham who might have bagged 20 goals in 2 consecutive seasons in the Italian league might actually look like a bargain. And when you think about the money that Chelsea are bringing in for Tammy Abraham by selling him during this window, the gap between that and 68 million is going to seem like absolutely nothing to Chelsea in terms of balancing financial books, FFP. This looks like a really genius sale from Marina Granovskaya and Chelsea Football Club again. When you also think about the fact that we won't be paying Tammy Abraham's wages over the course of the next 2 years as well, because the move to Roma, despite the buyback clause, is a permanent move. I think it's really, really good business. And I've said it before, I wish Tammy all the best, and I do think that we might see him in a Chelsea shirt again one day soon. Mason, what do you think? Tammy Abraham to come back to Chelsea? Eat some grass if you believe in it. He's already chomping on the grass. He's been a bit sick today. We move into a little update on N'Golo Kante, a man who in the Super Cup, if you saw the training before the Super Cup, you'll know that N'Golo Kante hobbled off a little bit. He went down the tunnel and he looked to be holding his ankle next to the goalpost. And as a result of that, it looked as though he played through the pain or had an injection or a painkiller in order to get through the Super Cup final. And then obviously he missed the opening day of the season against Crystal Palace, which Chelsea fans never want to see N'Golo Kante not in the team. Fortunately for us, Jorginho, absolutely top class. Kovacic was brilliant. Everything was flawless from Chelsea, so we didn't really miss N'Golo Kante in that sense. However, the injury update is from Thomas Tuchel that N'Golo Kante will be ready to feature against Arsenal at the weekend. Romelu Lukaku is going to be in training. We already know that. There's a chance he could start against Arsenal in his first game, and N'Golo Kante could also be back too. To look forward to that match a little bit, obviously we're going to talk in a lot more detail regarding previews, what I think the starting lineup's going to be. I look at Arsenal right now, and I just know that it doesn't matter who's out there on the pitch for Arsenal, they're going to turn up a lot better than they did against Brentford. The form that Chelsea are in, what we showed against Crystal Palace with a Kante return looking likely, Lukaku getting either his first start or coming off the bench, I think this is a recipe for Chelsea to go absolutely crazy at the Emirates on Sunday. I thought it was Saturday. I keep getting this one wrong because the times in Bali is 7 hours ahead. Sometimes the game carries on into the next day. So whenever I say it's on Saturday or it's on Sunday, I often get it wrong. And you guys let me know about it, but that's what it is. You didn't know. N'Golo Kante should be fit and ready to go. Great news for Chelsea Football Club. The question is, who will it be alongside him in the middle of the park? I want to finish this video today by talking about Timo Werner. There is a lot of people that are still thinking that Timo Werner is done, finished at Chelsea Football Club as a result of Romelu Lukaku coming in. I wanted to address this on GBFC because a lot of people looked at Timo Werner's display against Crystal Palace at the weekend, and even I complimented Timo Werner for the movement that he made which led to the Christian Pulisic goal. I'm not saying that Christian Pulisic scored that goal as a result of all of the stuff that Timo Werner did, and if Werner didn't do it, Pulisic wouldn't have scored. That's not what I'm saying. But the movement that Timo Werner did make in that game against Palace, there were little runs that he made towards the byline, opportunities and chances to actually cut the ball back. I didn't think it was anywhere near as bad of a performance as people were making it out to be. And I often think when a player comes in who's obviously a massive signing, a big name signing, Lukaku's very expensive, we know he's a goal scorer, and he is being brought in to be that spearheaded target man striker. That doesn't mean to say that we deserve or need to write off Timo Werner in a Chelsea shirt as a result of that. And a lot of people are also saying that it showcases Werner as a failure in terms of Chelsea's business, which I think you could never say. A man who did get 27 goal contributions in his first season at Chelsea, won the Champions League, has now got a Super Cup winners medal as well. I think it's incredibly unfair to label Timo Werner's time so far as a failure. Yes, we wish he scored more goals. Yes, he should have scored more goals because he missed so many big chances. But I think the key thing that we need to remember with Romelu Lukaku, also bearing in mind the style of play that we see with Timo Werner. Quite often with Chelsea, if we're going with a 3-4-2-1, it often looks like we have three attackers with either Mason Mount and Kai Havertz playing off the striker. In this case, I fully expect Timo Werner to be one of those options to play off of Romelu Lukaku. We also know that at his time at Leipzig, Timo Werner loves to play alongside another striker, specifically a striker who's a big striker who holds up the ball, plays with his back to goal so that Timo Werner can focus on making those direct runs to split defences to create opportunities for other players around him, be it Mason Mount, Havertz, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech, those kind of players. And I think that Lukaku coming in, yes, it might limit some of the time that Timo Werner has, particularly as a starter, but imagine, Chelsea fans, the pace of Timo Werner coming off the bench after 60 or so minutes to rest some of these players with Chelsea competing in numerous competitions. Timo Werner is going to make a massive difference. And whether that is starting alongside Romelu Lukaku up front, it alleviates the pressure, as Thomas Tuchel has already said, on expecting Timo Werner to score. And I think that what it will also do, the Chelsea fans that don't really like what Timo Werner does, or they can't see some of the more off-the-ball things that Timo Werner brings to this Chelsea team, and they're just focused on the goals, I think with Lukaku coming in to obviously be that guy to score the goals, I think the pressure that will be alleviated off the shoulders of Timo Werner will actually allow him to play with a lot more confidence, with a bit less stress, which I actually think will see Timo Werner convert more chances and end up scoring more goals as a result. So, you agree with me? Too early to write off Timo? I absolutely agree. I've seen a lot of people saying that, you know, I shouldn't be praising Timo Werner for the movement for the Pulisic goal. I think that's absolutely crazy. And I do want to say that we should keep giving him time. He's only had a season. He did get 27 goal contributions last season, which isn't awful numbers. Yes, it should have been more. I echo this all the time. I repeat my words just to make sure you guys are clear as to where I'm at. But Romelu Lukaku coming in, I think he's the perfect striker for Timo Werner to play off of so that we get the best out of both of them. I think they'll complement each other's game so well. And the biggest question for Thomas Tuchel and us as Chelsea fans is, who is it going to be come Arsenal at the weekend? Will we see Romelu Lukaku and Timo Werner up front together? I would like to see it. I don't know if it's going to happen. Maybe Lukaku comes off the bench and Timo starts. It all depends how quickly Romelu Lukaku picks up on the tactical way that Thomas Tuchel wishes to deploy this Chelsea team come Sunday against Arsenal in the Premier League. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. I'm not saying that, you know, if you don't like Timo or you think Timo's not good enough or it's done, you're not wrong. You have the right to your own opinion, but I do think it's too early to write Timo Werner off at Chelsea without giving him a chance to play alongside the beast that is Romelu Lukaku. But anyway, second video of the day. I also uploaded the top 5 Chelsea moments of last week on GBFC Shorts. I'll leave it as a clip here at the end, and it's also on a card. Link in the description if you want to go check it out. I'd love to hear your feedback. Gonna go and feed this little doggo. I'll see you guys in the morning for another Chelsea news video. Catch you all later. Come on, you blue. Yes, guys, welcome back to GBFC Shorts. Welcome to episode number 1 of Chelsea FC top 5 moments of the week, beginning with Marcos Alonso putting that ball into the top corner, opening Chelsea's goal scoring account for the season.